Welcome everyone to Ethereum Monday Night Madness. If you guys have been out of it for the last 8 hours, you're going to get a great introduction today on what happened to the markets, what made ETH go up 20% and the rest of the markets turn incredibly green. This is a bullish time, my friends. This is the time we've been waiting for. This is kind of what was anticipated, but I wasn't expecting May for it to happen because there's still a lot of things out there in the market that could go on. I'm excited tonight to be joined by my great friend. You might know him as the Trade Room. He's there in the Jewelers podcast every once in a while, and he's always coming to you from X as well. Trade Room, how are you doing tonight, my man?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a nice, warm Monday evening on the East Coast. The markets are bullish, and it's exciting to be here.
Awesome. Good to see you. Love listening to you, Mega, Dags, everybody on the Jewelers podcast, all of the stuff that you guys are up to, everything that's going on in the world of crypto. We've got so much happening tonight. And as a very special added bonus, guys, I'm going to do a couple of big things tonight. I'm going to give you a little crypto alpha here at the end, something I've been working on for the last 6 months, and also, too, some insight. And I wanted to also give you a little prize. So I've got 4 different crystals lined up. I'm going to crack open one of those bad boys and give it to somebody who's listening in the chat tonight. I'll let Trade Room help me out with that. We'll have a question for you at the end. If you're good with it and you figure it out, we'll bring you on, get you a free hero. Nothing better than that. Let's jump right into it, though. I mean, this was incredible today. Whoops. I got right over it. I had the app on there. Let me go back into the actual screen itself. Boom. Brought up my my token that I wanted to bring up here at the end. Let me see if I can hop out of this. Let's hop on into there real quick, and I'll get back into the app here in hopefully just a second. Anyway, as far as the markets go today, everything is incredibly green. I couldn't believe how awesome everything's looking. What were some of the insights that you took away from the green markets today?
Yeah, I mean, we had the Bitcoin ETF. We had our all-time highs. In the trade room, we've been anticipating a 20-30% correction, which was a beautiful falling wedge, and we're just waiting for a breakout, and that's what we got, right? And it's good to see a healthy correction and a solid impulsive breakout. As we gear further into the bull market post Bitcoin halving. So it's something that we've been expecting, and it's good to see.
Definitely. Well, here we go with those green bubbles. I mean, you can see from this that this thing is just an incredible day. I mean, we've got Lido up 23%, Pyth up 31%, and then our good friend ETH over here, 20%, 3,700 Trade Room. What do you think about those bananas?
Yeah, in my theory of the markets, there's an order of liquidity, and that goes Bitcoin, then you get Ethereum, then it trickles down to the rest of the altcoins. So Ethereum is the indicator for the altcoins, the indicator of alt season to come. We'll get into a later conversation about the ETFs and such, but it's good to see this impulse from Ethereum, and as a primarily altcoin holder, I like to see this, right? So I like seeing this in the chart. Similar impulse to Bitcoin as Bitcoin rules all, but we're seeing some really powerful movements from Ethereum as we gear into the second half of the bull market.
Yeah, Ethereum has done absolutely nothing but go up. It's been great today. I mean, it's just awesome to see it go from 3,000 to 3,700 here in one day. Just amazing to see. Big shout out to everybody who's joining us in the chat tonight. TuneFed, Zealous from DFK Helper, Sir Worm, Dags, this is always financial advice. You know that, my man. Kevin Porter, good to see you. Cassius, Sticks intern making dinner right now in the kitchen. Mega, always great to see you. And Zabahana Haraji. Let's go, KP. Don't even know exactly who that is, but I like it nonetheless. Kurt, great to see you as well. If you don't know who this man is or you want to follow him, you want to get out there to Twitter, the X platform. He is under the Trade Room, 2 O's, 2 zeros, that is. And then he's got all of his information out there. He's a great chartist. He's a technical analyst when it comes to these markets right now. And he wants to be able to basically make everything out so that you have a good understanding. You can make a determination. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? What are the chances of it going one way or another? That's what I like about it, is that if you can basically make it so that if you hit that specific range, right? That specific number, you've got a better chance of it going either up or down. If there's a breakout, if there's a wedge pattern, if there's certain things happening, you can make a determination on your own. Does this make sense? Is it going to go one way or another? Why don't you give them a little idea? What are some of the insights that you have, Trade Room, about what's going on in the market right now?
Yeah, for sure. So, the way that I look at things, I always say the trade room is sometimes antithesis to what I really am and what I really do. I look at macro trends, right? So the bigger trends. What does the next 5 years look like? What does the next 10 years look like? What are the cycles within cycles, right? I compare the stock market a lot to the crypto market because we've had over 200 years in the stock market, and the more data you have, the better off you are. So a lot of what I do with making calls and things of that nature is practice, right? And I throw my personal journal out there, my practice out there for some of those micro movements. And micro, we're talking, 4 months, 3 months, 4 weeks. But all in all, that smaller micro practice is to gear up for the macro calls, which those, the longer out you go, the easier it is to make inferences, probabilities, not definitives, right? Probabilities on what's happening in the markets. And through the bear market, or through 2.5 bear markets now, it's been fun, right? And I consider this fun. We're in a gaming space, right? And so a lot of the gamers in this space go in and know the skills and put things together. And I look at the markets in a gaming sense where it's fun to look, to chart. And I go in with the fun of it. It makes actually the work of it pretty easy because it's fun for me. But yeah, looking at the markets and where we are right now, probability says we're definitely in a bull market. Probability says after the Bitcoin halving, we have some parabolic price action coming, not necessarily in Bitcoin, but in everything else under it. And this is the time to, gear up. All the dollar cost averaging, buying in and holding happened, months ago. And this is the chance, stack up a little bit more that you have in the bag and really anticipate what the ultimate upside is in this run. But in my end, as a macro channel, especially a part of the Jewelers Guild, shout out to the Jewelers Guild, is the next 15 to 20 years. And that's where the tremendous gains should come from once you are able to put your eyes on this market, build more data to set yourself up for some great returns in the future.
Definitely, definitely. There is a big opportunity here, and if we go over to a DFK chain, you guys can see on the Avalanche subnet right now, what's going on as far as these prices go. I know that you're a big proponent of DFK, everything that's happening inside the ecosystem when it comes to the value of these different tokens, including the Moshka ruins, including Jewel, Crystal. I mean, I got excited a little bit, guys, because we saw Crystal today go up to like 1.2 cents. I haven't seen that in a really, really long time. What do you think about these moves, Trade Room?
Yeah, I mean, Crystal is sitting at my support area. When we get that first impulse, and there are a few patterns that that's just funny. There are a few patterns that we were looking at, especially when the big whale was selling, and there was a lot of fear and doubts and drama. There were a few patterns that we were looking at, and those macro patterns formed also beautifully. And so when Jewel made his first big impulse, and I was selling at 55 cents, selling at 70 cents, it wasn't because I was bearish. It's because we've been watching these macro patterns for so long, and Jewel moves similar to other tokens in the ecosystem where they have big runs in short periods of times, and it spends a lot of time consolidating. So since that impulse, since those patterns that we were looking for, drew your normal trend lines, and Crystal is slightly on that support line that we're looking at after just creating lower lows for a solid year and a half to two. So love where Crystal is right now. I just continue to burn it. I buy it and burn it, buy it and burn it. Consumptive utility, like Sticks Intern would say, or the economic hardening theory, like I would say. But love where Crystal is right now if you're looking to accumulate that, not only for the use within the game, but to try to run some profit from it. My guesstimation on Crystal is you need at least 10,000 plus Crystal to have anything significant, some significant gains from it, because we're looking basically at an 8 to 10x from Crystal at the minimum. Love what I'm seeing from Jewel holding that support at 11 cents as a macro sense. When we had the crash in 2022, that's where the lowest low was created. So love to see that hold as a support. Love Honk. We're gonna talk about meme coins, in a bit as well. And love Swift Thistle. My goodness, Swift Thistle. And for those who don't know this, Swift Thistle and now Jewel are really the only deflationary assets within the game. Jewel because it's fully minted and it's in a burn mechanism, but Swift Thistle because not many people want to hang out in Serendale, but it's the only place to get the assets, right, or token that's needed 4 times over for different things like the Stone Carver, like for stamina pots, and a bunch of other things, swiftness potion that is used in an ecosystem as well. So that's just a few of the things that I love. Love having Moksha runes at a sale right now because I got plenty of heroes that I got to stack up. But in the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem, those are the ones that recently I've been looking at accumulating and pretty bullish on based upon the tokenomics and what I see on the charts.
It's funny how Moscow ruins go up and down, right? I mean, at one point they're getting close to $2, then they're back down to 45 cents or so. Now they're sitting right around 50 cents, and it's just like interesting to see these price fluctuations and everything inside of DFK. I was interested to see all the different tokenomics that go on inside the game. It just makes me, more bullish when I see the prices are going up for a change. It's nice to see everything in the entire DFK chain, other than maybe Swift Thistle that went down a little bit. Tears went down a little bit today. But I know that people are still out there. They're buying, they're summoning, they're putting things together, right? I mean, Dags is in the chat right now talking about it. Sir Worm as well. I've got 4 heroes lined up. One of them is going to go to one of you lucky viewers tonight. I'm excited because I use DFK Helper to line up all of my heroes to get summoned. And he just introduced a new summoning feature inside of DFKH that allows you to pair up heroes much easier inside the tavern, to hire heroes out, to find those heroes and make the best ones you possibly can. I know all you degens out there are like trying to make those beasts right now for PvP. That's definitely what's going on, and there's just a ton that's happening. But let's hop right into the sponsor that I've had for a while now, and the sponsor in tonight's show, which is Donate3 Live. I pinned the in the chat right there my Donate3 Live link if you guys want to throw some Jewel or USDT or anything into the actual stream itself. I'd appreciate it. I know that the guys at Donate3 Live are creating a really cool platform. I just chatted with them today. They're bringing on 2 or 3 new streamers every single day. I know that Sticks Intern was on top of the leaderboard too, so I got to catch him. I got to pass him up. I want my Donate3 Live points. I want my Don3 Live points so that I can pass him up and get that airdrop. I know you guys use it on the Jewelers, right? Right, Trade Room?
Oh yeah. We all use it on the Jewelers lives. We use it. I use it myself on the trade room, and I always have to give a huge shout out to Donate Live. When you think about the individuals who stream in the crypto space, we're part of disseminating information, disseminating and viewing the blockchain ecosystem, especially in GameFi too. And when you look at what Donate Live is doing, they're causing a bit of a 360 effect that's happening between the blockchains, the teams, the communities, and then the streamers, where we can all just give to each other, right? You're giving away something tonight. I have given away everything from a Gorbo to swords and a bunch of different things. And so that 360 in due time is just amazing. And I know we switched over, but shout out to DFK Helper as well. because now I can go in. I'm so excited about hunts. I can do my hunts, and I can allow my duels to happen. I can allow my summons to happen. I can allow my level ups to happen. Because if it wasn't for that, I'd be sitting there maybe 20 out of 24 hours trying to do everything I want to do in the ecosystem. But I just love all the third party applications that are coming into this space, and that sound and that drop, oh, it feels so good.
That was SI sending me some mashkas. That's awesome. I mean, it was fun. I wanted to go really quickly too over to this little clip that I got from. Let's see if this is it. No, that's not it. Oh, because I have it on the other one. I'll have to grab it up here in just a second. But it's the Battle Mage Brewery. We went there this, a couple days ago and had the DFK meetup over there. It was so much fun to get together with Sticks Intern, Sergeant Filthy McNasty, Dr. J, even Fistful of Dollars was there. We got a chance to hang out. And, Web3 is all about community. We have a great community here. It's fun to be able to donate tokens to each other. I saw you guys grab that airdrop as well. Donate3 has a reward pool airdrop mechanism built into it. I have a half a jewel if you haven't claimed it before. Get in there and claim it. It only is good while I'm live, so make sure that you get out there and grab it. I'm trying to get more partners on board. Big Red, who we'll talk about a little bit later, they're going to be a big partner going forward. They're going to donate a bunch of money to streamers. I'm hoping the jewelers are going to get their fair share of the reward pool. It basically is you claim it, you get it, guys, and then a portion goes to the streamer as well. So you get rewarded for watching the stream, and the streamer gets rewarded for streaming to you. That's just like the best of all worlds. That's the way Web3 should be, right?
Yeah, it's fantastic. And you can tell the development is nowhere near done with Donate Live. So it's just exciting to see what they continue to come out with.
Definitely. And speaking of Sticks Intern, he sent me over this post today that I thought was really informative. Is that really nobody thought that the Bitcoin spot ETF was going to get approved in May. It just said it's a true shock to everyone I know in DC who's close to the process. Doesn't mean it won't happen. It just means that it'll be a major shift in the U.S. crypto policy after SAB 121 vote, perhaps more important than the ETF itself. I mean, how can you even imagine like this ETF is going to affect the ecosystem so much that now all of a sudden, just like with Bitcoin, right, hitting all-time high 71,000 plus today, we're going to have people that are institutions that can come in, buy the ETF. We're going to have retirement funds. We're going to have pension funds. We're going to have all kinds of different assets that are being able to be bought. It's just so cool to see the adoption. And I think that what happened is that when the politicians, and I talked a little bit about this in my New Year's resolution or my New Year's look forward in 2024, that when the politicians get involved here towards the end of the year, they just want to buy votes. However they can buy votes, they're going to do it, right? They're going to give people money. They're going to reduce interest rates. They're going to make sure that vote for me and I'll make sure that you get money. We already had I think it was Trump say, I'm the Bitcoin guy. I'm the guy that's in there for crypto because he's made so much money off of NFTs, right? I forget exactly how much, but he's made a ton with his Trump NFTs. Now Biden's like, well, I don't want him to win because he's going to get all the Bitcoin votes. I need to get into this as well. But what are some of your thoughts around this ETF potential approval and what it's going to mean for, crypto as a whole and politicians going forward? Are they going to embrace it? Are we going to see a literal like, hey, I'm a Bitcoin guy, I'm an ETH guy, vote for me?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a pretty bold statement for Jake to say the spot ETF is approved. I think it eventually does get approved. I don't know if it'll be this time around. I believe it's Thursday, the 23rd, where the SEC has to make their decision. I believe ARC and a couple others are, due for their approval or denial. I know that the SEC, contacted these entities and informed them to add further details or expand on their S1 forms or applications. So that was seen in the general market as a bullish indicator. But my hot take is that it doesn't get approved. But I think it does get approved eventually, especially like you're saying, since these politicians want to buy these votes. And as someone who holds altcoins, yeah, I'd love it. I'd love to hear the approval happen, this week. I'm a little pessimistic about it, but optimistic in the macro sense. But what this means is that crypto does have some legitimacy. I know with the tweet you have there, the SAB 121. Initially, Biden was saying, "Hey, I'm going to veto this when it comes out," but we're seeing the pushback, right? We're seeing it's kind of bipartisan. We're seeing 21 Democrats voted, in positivity to it. So we're seeing the tides change, and it's looking like eventually Biden is going to have to succumb, or whoever is running the White House right now is going to have to succumb to what the people want. When you have over 60 to 70 million U.S. Individuals holding it, and I believe Stick says, Trey, did you hear the news today that two Bloomberg analysts upgraded their projections from 0% to 75%? Bloomberg has said a lot of things. Okay, Bloomberg has said a lot of things. Bloomberg was anti-crypto not too long ago, so take that with a grain of salt. But I know from what we're looking at with how the proceedings that went on with Bitcoin, that I don't think there's a high likelihood that it gets approved. I'd love to be wrong because I still have my coins in the bucket, but we'll see. What do you think? What do you think the probability of the approval is?
I'm thinking the probability right now, I mean, I thought it was going to be next to zero. I'm thinking right now it's probably 50-50 in my eyes. I think that the iShares ETF was set for August, and that's the one I had targeted for. Originally, I was thinking May would be great. It'd be the summer lull, right? It's the sell in May and go away, which usually means the opposite. Usually when people start thinking like that, right, the market completely throws itself on your head and you're like, oh my God. It just shot up like 20% today. I wish I, had bought more ETH, but I've always been an ETH maxi. I've always thought that Ethereum to me has way more value to it than Bitcoin. That's not to say that it price wise, they obviously don't. The market doesn't agree with me on that. But at some point, I do think that ETH is going to have a much better run than Bitcoin will this cycle. I think the Bitcoin will do well, just like everything. But I think ETH will do, probably 2 times it usually does. I mean, people say it rhymes, but it probably will repeat itself. We'll see it get up there in November, December timeframe. And if the right politicians are in the right places and they're really, pushing for this ETF for one reason or another, and it's usually because they want to get reelected, then great. We'll see it sooner rather than later. I love what Dag said. The one senator that shall not be named, she pissed me off more than anything with her anti-crypto sentiment, and it just bugs me to know, and that these people say things like that. It's like, why would you be anti anything? You should be for all major technologies right now. AI, crypto, robotics, it's just the perfect storm. I can see it happening, and there being tons and tons of bullish sentiment in the markets, and things continue to shoot up because we're in that really amazing banana zone that Rob Paul likes to call it, where things can have this incredible exponential run over the next couple of years that we look back and go like, oh my God, this confluence of all these factors came together and made things so incredible. And with that, I wanted to go into Layer 0, which I think is some of the best technology I've seen in a long time. One thing that I'm sure that you guys are aware of is that they're doing their airdrop here shortly, and they have this request for proposal submission that's going on right now. So this RFP is for protocols that built on top of Layer 0, and you guys all know one in particular that did. Eligibility, criteria, everything. Layer 0, there's been over 4.5 million, probably over 5 million transactions that have run through the DFK Layer 0 bridge. So, I mean, when you look at this, this is an incredible opportunity for a protocol to earn all of these additional tokens. And when we're talking about Layer 0, we're talking about a protocol that's going to be worth multi-billion dollars when it launches here. So these tokens are going to get sent not only to you guys who used it, not only you guys that bridge stuff back and forth, but to the protocol itself. And it basically says it can get distributed in any way that the project feels that it should. So I was like, wow, this is cool. You could say like, hey, I'm going to give all this to these 10 people, or all of this to the people who did this, or all this to the people that did that. But it's just a really cool opportunity. And you can come in here to the site and see how you qualify, what it is that you did. But some of the other ones that have gone through here and submitted their RFP proposals, I'm sure you might have used some of them, and you'll be able to see like, okay, if I've used some of these protocols, I might get an extra bonus. These things could be airdropped to me. There's just tons and tons of stuff that's going on right now, and it just makes me incredibly bullish for the space because these protocols are just creating billions of dollars of tokens that is just going to get distributed to these communities, and I'm extremely bullish on this. How about you? Have you been using the Layer Zero bridge? Are you going to be able to claim some of these tokens?
Yeah, I will. And just one last caveat about the Ethereum ETF. The thing that does fall in gives a higher probability of it being approved is that the applicants, ARC and others have removed staking from their applications. And we know that that's one thing the SEC focused on when they dropped their Wells notice to consensus, right? So that if it was a 50-50 for you, could possibly move it to a 55 to 60-40. But just wanted to throw that caveat in there. Now, when it comes to layer zero, I mean, it's one of the most anticipated bullish kind of drops that I've seen in a long time. I know ZK Sync has a lot of kind of just bullish and a lot of anticipation on it. I mean, Layer Zero, even the coolness factor of it, the technology, and the ability to take transactions and activity that other ecosystems are doing and reward them is just awesome. And if you're in a DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem, I mean, that's literally all we do. We bridge, we transfer, we burn. And so on the Jewelers Live the other day, Mega and Dags put up the layer zero transactions and they were looking at theirs. And I'm like, holy schmoly, I should be bridging more items. I'm someone who goes to Serendale and transfers some heroes there and does this and does that. So I'm just like, time to ramp it up, right? It's not time to slow down. It's time to ramp it up. So I haven't looked too much further into this, but is it still active for those transactions?
No, it ended. A snapshot got taken on May 1st, so it had to happen before May 1st in order to be
Oh,
eligible
that's
for the
tragic.
actual airdrop itself. So we did talk about it, though. I mean, I talked about it as much as I possibly could from November
Yeah.
until May, and when it actually got announced, I was like, "Man, this is awesome! Hopefully, it's going to be great for everybody in the DFK ecosystem." And I appreciate you, Dags, for sending me the 69 bloaters as well. Thank you so much for that. The ultimate meme token. And so as far as the layer zero airdrop goes, we're hoping that it's going to be significant, right? I mean, if you played DFK for any length of time, like we all did,
Yes.
say you used it all the way from last March, March of 2023 until today, that's like 16 months worth of of bridges going back and forth. And I think that some of the criteria is going to be how much you did, how much time you used it, and all the different chains that you sent to. So if you only did it back and forth between Clayton and DFK chain, you won't have as big of an airdrop as somebody who had, because I think there's 53 or so chains that it represents right now. So they'll probably have some criteria that falls along different lines of that kind of thing. But with that being said, everybody in DFK should be getting a significant amount of layer zero tokens, right?
Yeah, for sure. And unknowingly, there's gonna be some people that unknowingly are like, "Holy crap, there's an airdrop coming! Oh, I've been just bridging and doing my thing," and it's awesome to have those type of incentives where whether you're intentional about it or not, if you're participating in this ecosystem, you have an opportunity to get a great airdrop. So. I really like that, and it was just so in the cut, and just so unspoken of because you still qualify by naturally playing the game. So it's gonna be very exciting to see that roll out, and to see what we get dropped.
Yeah, definitely. And right on to our next topic, which is the big red token airdrop, guys. If you got your big red Vizzies, I think 1,300 of them or so sold, you're going to get your big red tokens. And we know from that amount, you're probably going to get at least $10 worth, a little bit more than that. So you'll cover your Vizzy expense plus get a little bit extra back. And that was the cool thing with this is that Big Red gets all of that extra exposure. They're a big meme coin on Avalanche. They represent the Cornell mascot, which is where the founder of Avalanche went to school. and their token is TD, touchdown baby. As far as it goes for Big Red, these guys have been awesome. They've sponsored DFK for over $25,000 worth of different sponsors between the Hunts and the Vizzies. They're creating this community. That's what I love about it, is that they're creating this community around a token, which I think is just so awesome because you can do this now, and you can empower people to come in. They're giving a portion of all of the things that they make from this token, the taxes that go to Cornell University and a sponsor in a scholarship program. They're empowering people to come out here now and do these things. Of course, they're not in it for just all of the other things that involve with the technology, but they're creating this community that otherwise didn't exist, and they've only been around for a little while. I mean, it's probably been about 2 months that this actual project's been around. What are some of your thoughts on Big Red? And I think their market valuation was like right around, if I'm right now, about $4 million market cap, but when they launched, they were up over 20-25 million dollars. That's incredible for a meme coin, right?
Yeah, for sure. Right now, and since the airdrop for DFK holders who bought Vizzies, they're up about 40%. Right, it's pretty cool to see. Their market cap has jumped to 5 million. And I always love and support any um, entity that's a part of the Avalanche ecosystem. We've seen meme coins like Cock Inu make great runs. We saw TD when it first dropped make a great run. And they're doing, as you said, other things that are causing great network effects, right, for this ecosystem. So they're not participating and here to leave. They're associating themselves with an entire university. They're delving into different ecosystems. I can't tell you how hyped I was when I finally won one of the Void Hunt drops from them. Literally, maybe like 3 days ago, 2 days ago, while on live stream. I logged on and boom, there goes that drops, right? So uh, doing things like that, now TD stays in my brain forever. And it may be something that I'd be looking to continue to get back into. But I like meme coins that have some sort of utility. Love it, right? That's why I like Kakinu. That's why I like Honk. That's a part of DeFi Kingdom's ecosystem because they're integrating with the communities. They're providing a better structure for everybody that's in the community, and they're giving back, which is always great to see. The chart looks like it's pretty bottomed out. And so, not financial advice, but if you don't have a meme coin position, TD looks like an awesome one to utilize. Plus, I'm sure the Vizzies will be tradable eventually on the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem, so they will forever live in the game.
That's so cool. I know. It's awesome to see. The community coins are becoming very ubiquitous when it comes to all the different chains that are out there. Avalanche obviously had their meme coin rush season, but Solana was kind of the one that led it off. And that brings us back to, the big boy that's on Avalanche, which is the Cock and You, right? I mean, this is the one that was pumped up, that was hyped, that was just, completely the dominant coin on Avalanche for a really long time. I wanted to give a shout out to Dr. J in the chat. Good to see you, my man. And Eric David Tippett. That's definitely true. TD's teaching people about crypto, including Cock and You, which is valued at $200 million market cap wise. I mean, Trade Room, what are your thoughts? I mean, if you've got TD at 5 million, you've got Cock and You at 200 million. I mean, these meme coins have got a presence and they're here to stay. At first, when I got into crypto, I thought meme coins, bah humbug, I don't want any of that crap. But now that I know that people get into crypto for all different reasons. It's friendship, it's whatever it is, humor. You can get in here for whatever reason it is that you want. You can stay if you want to, you can leave if you want to. But if you come in and you bought, some of these tokens early on, especially, you can talk to Tad about Dog with Hat. Or some of the other Solana coins, you're going to be pretty happy right now. But you have any thoughts on Cock and You and where that stands in the big meme coin rush?
Yeah, aside from Honk, that's in the DeFi ecosystem that has the tokenomics that I love to see. My second most bullish meme coin associated with the AVAX network is Cock in You. And the great thing about this token is it now has some history on it. And if you're looking at the daily chart, the 3-day chart, and the weekly chart, my goodness, it looks amazing. It's creating this kind of 1-2 ladder pattern that I like seeing. You know me, I like the charts, right? So before
Hmm.
I even started digging into what they're doing in the ecosystem, I looked at the chart and I was like, oh my goodness. At a $200 million market cap, this could easily 5x to $1 billion market cap. And that's usually when people actually start realizing, oh, this thing is there. Right. And so it's amazing that AVAX, a layer one, that's also going to be put side to side in comparison with Solana, a layer one. We're seeing the success of layer ones, and we're seeing that order of liquidity that we spoke about. Once the order of liquidity leaves Ethereum, you get it in the layer ones before you get it anywhere else. So I'm uber bullish on the brand of it, the humor of it, the chart of it, and everything else they're doing in the ecosystem. And with the meme coin rush, hey, I get free AVAX and free points for keeping it there. Yeah, I'm looking to grab some more.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a lot of catalysts that are behind these things, and more than anything, what I can tell you is that it's the community. I've talked to a lot of people, the founders at Big Red, the founders at Kulo, some of the people that work behind the scenes at Cock and You that are just, really big community builders. They're out there and they're doing those things, and there's no bigger community right now than Dog with Hat. I mean, this is the coin, guys. $3 billion. This Dog with Hat, this website, this actual project, these people that came out of nowhere. This was literally fall of last year. This thing launched and it was like, okay, cool. It's a Shiba Inu with a hat on. I mean, I didn't think anything of it at the time. It was one of those things that was valued at a fraction of a penny. And I was like, yeah, great. Another meme coin here today, gone tomorrow. But it has proven me wrong and made people incredible amounts of wealth. I was just like so shocked at this. Have you been shocked at this? What do you think? Does this still have room to run at a $3 billion market cap? I mean, it's right around $3 right now. I mean, it blows my mind though to think like, wow, some of these communities, some of these coins, and this was a community, guys, that said we're going to take a dog with a hat, we're going to put it on the Sphere in Las Vegas. That's how cool they wanted to like create this incredible community to say like we have a DAO around this token that we get to literally market it wherever we choose, and you get to vote if you want it to go in one way or another or someplace or not. And I was just like, man, that is cool. I mean, what do you think? What are some of your thoughts with the WIF token?
Yeah, well, in the bear market, crypto is crap, right? The crypto boys is crap. In the bull market, it is the culture. It is the pop culture, actually. And so, people like Asem, they have their theories on it. He was one of the early ones in there. But you're always going to have a meme coin run. Last year, it was Dogecoin, and then you had some other kind of coins trail behind it. But as we get more notoriety, as we get more clarity from the government and our regulators, you're going to have these bigger waves in pop culture. And WIF was just able to do that with some simple, mechanisms. And so, yeah, I do think that at a $3 billion market cap, it'll probably look to at least 3x from there. In my opinion, I do think meme coins still have a bit of a corrective period to go through, but undoubtedly the rest of all of crypto meme coins, you have to look at WIF, the success of WIF, and the continued success of WIF for some of these other ecosystems that we're looking at to kind of make those runs that we're looking for. But you don't need any other examples other than Dogecoin, all right, a cycle ago, and WIF now. That hey, allocating 5 to 10% of your holdings to a bunch of meme coins is not a bad idea at all because we've seen it repeat itself through multiple cycles, and it's just hilarious. Like, look at that.
Yeah, it is. I always go back and I look at, the king, the granddaddy of them all, right? The one to lead the pack, and that is the Dogecoin. The guy that was created as a meme by people that disregarded the entire thing and then got up to right now sitting at a $23 billion market cap. Ran up to 70 cents with the Elon Musk whole thing on the last cycle, and hit I forget how much that was. I think it was almost $100 billion market cap, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it was just a incredible run to see this thing that I thought like, oh yeah, it's one of those dumb things, has no utility, not good for anything, not gonna happen. But who am I, right, to say like what has value and what doesn't? People who love their tokens think like this is the greatest thing ever. I can buy something, I can hold on to it, I'm a part of a community, and I can watch it go up, right?
Yeah, pop culture. Pop culture is important, especially as our market cap grows and we dig more into other cultures, ecosystems, industries, and media as well.
Yeah, definitely. So with that, I wanted to drop a little bit of alpha here. Should I do it?
Ooh,
Yeah, let's
alpha
do it.
time. Let's do it.
It's
Let's do
time
it.
to drop some alpha.
So, as you guys know, I've been working on several different things behind the scenes, and a couple of them have to do with things that we've already talked about tonight. Layer zero, that was one of the big things that I found out about, and I was like, great, this is cool. I like it. I want to talk more about it. Big Red, a project inside of DFK, things that are going on with that. Talking the $200 million meme coin. Absolutely, absolutely crazy. And then, of course, the dog with hat, baby. The dog, that's taken the world by storm and in 6 months gone to a $3 billion market cap. So I was just thinking like, hey, this would be really cool. This is something that I can integrate and do lots of different things with. But I found this little tidbit I thought I'd share. You guys might have seen it earlier today when I brought it up, but this is kind of one of those things where I was like, I found this on YouTube. I thought I might as well share it with you real quick, and then I'll chat with you about this on the back end. Anyway, there's all kinds of different projects that are out there, from the TED token to the dog with hat token. But I thought, what better than a DFK community coin? Something that we owned inside the ecosystem, something that we could use, something that we could treasure. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it, Trade Room. What do you think? Could DFK have a coin in it that went to 200 million, a billion, $26 billion based on the fact of what we know right now when it comes to these types of tokens?
100% yes, and a little bit of bias on my end. I think it's going to be honk. It is currently, and correct me if I'm wrong, at the moment, the only outside of the DFK team's token. They have a distribution model that disseminates the tokens to the community themselves through providing liquidity for heroes. And I'm just real bullish on it based upon the tokenomics and the market cap that it's reached at different points in time. But I'm really interested in what this steady thing is. I that was interesting. Please tell us more. What's going on here?
Definitely, definitely. At least I wanted to kind of bring that out there because meme coins are basically about the community, right? Sticks Intern says, I hope it's Jewel. Can you imagine like if Jewel was the actual coin that hit, $26 billion? I mean, it's already gone up to $1 billion, right? People would say like, hey, that was a pretty amazing run. Back at the time, did Jewel have that much utility? No, not much at all. But, I was just looking today and I was like, okay, what kind of other meme coins are out there? How much are they valued at? And what does it take to build that community around them? When I talked to the TD people, the people that created Big Red, you know how they started? They started in Telegram. They drummed up some, engagement on Telegram. They got a chance to chat with some people. They said, hey, would you guys be interested if we created this community token? This is what we want to do. They got 200, 300 people together and they said, yeah, let's do it. They launched the coin. It's now valued at over $5 million, right? I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. But we've already got a community here in DFK. We're already excited about it. We want to, we want to have something that's our own. If that's honk or something else, right? It's just like, what's honk valued at right now, Trade Room, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, right now it's 22 cents. I had a high of about $1.18, market cap 95K, with actually more liquidity than about 90% of the assets in DFK.
Wow. Okay. Cool. So I mean, that's just like one of the, one of the community tokens that's out there. And I know that that really is one of those things that gets pushed from time to time is like, all right, great. What are some of the community assets? What are some of the tokens? What are some of the ways that we can build community outside of the game itself? There's been a couple of little things that have been asked and kind of proposed and things that have done, but nothing that's really come out and hit the mainstream. From your point of view, what would it take for a token to reach that $1 billion plateau, like a cock and you? Actually, even cock's only 200 million, but like a dog with hat, something like that. I mean, what does it take, the community wise? How many holders do you think it would take in order to hit that?
I mean, uh, there's a few factors that go into it. The question you're asking me makes me think of stuff like the Hercules Dex and liquidity doors opening outside of the DFK round. And so, yeah, of course, we're seeing Bitcoin make a run, but we've seen since the Hercules Dex open up Jewel for trading, and I'm going to be checking the volume and things on that side of things. But opening those liquidity doors is going to be very important, and allowing the community tokens that are outside of the DFK realm connect to those liquidity doors are going to be uber important. In terms of holders, we've seen 5K holders, 2K holder community coins make big runs by catching momentum from other ecosystems. And as long as we continue to add the fun factor, we continue to have stability. We just heard Gala Games, Gala Blockchain, their treasury got hacked. As long as we take care of those things and we continue to bring the fun factor in this ecosystem, we continue to have creators create. I think the rest will take care of itself, and that's why I really truly am not too worried about Jewel and some of the other assets within the ecosystem, because it is more about the fun factor and the liquidity doors that need to open up for us to invite others into our ecosystem.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's got to be that fun factor involved with it. There has to be people coming in from outside the community. There has to be people that are excited to do something, that's associated with DeFi kingdoms, but it might not even be. Just like with how TD, the big red token, decided that they were going to do some marketing inside of DFK. DFK can do some marketing outside of itself, right? There's so many other chains out there. You've got the Arbitrums, you've got the base chains, you've got the Solanas, you've got everything else that's available right now in the blockchain realm. Can you imagine having the DFK token on Solana, say, and it was the castle, it was the king token, and it was sitting there, and it's like, yeah, this is the community token on Solana alongside Dog with Hat. Maybe some people say, hey, I want to sell some of my Dog with Hat and buy some of this really cool castle token, and it hits a 10, 20, 30, $40 million valuation, and you can stake it in the Radium Dex, and you can earn some passive income from it, and people associate, hey, this is a cool token, I like it, it's part of this game, oh cool, I want to go find out some more about that. But that's how you build the community, right? We all know how cool DeFi Kingdoms is, but we want other people to be able to get in, to learn about it, to enjoy it, to think about it. And what better way than, like, I was just thinking about TD, Cornell University. I would have never thought about that. Like, okay, let's create this cool meme token around Cornell University. And then everybody at Cornell people that are in the know in crypto are going to associate, hey, this is our token. This is our community token. And maybe it's 10, 15,000 students every year that are like, oh, great, I got introduced to crypto from this one token. But it's just things like that I feel like are in need. It's something that we can do as a community, as a way to market, as a way to create hopefully some value amongst us. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Sticks says you need to have a cult of early holders who will never sell no matter what because they have a zealous religious attachment to the token. Speaking of Cornell, speaking of these endowments, they've spent what 200 plus years creating this cult of individuals who come in for 4 years, leave with some sort of certificate, and they forever rep Cornell, right? You have a
Right.
DeFi Kingdoms cult that's built for 2 years, and we have our certificates and our times that we spent here, and we built our heroes. And so, yeah, it is a little bit of that. It is a little bit of building that cultism. And what is this? The certificates. The certificate is going in and accomplishing things within that ecosystem. And for DeFi Kingdoms, I think PvP is going to be a big part of that for those who can command their legions, command their wins. I'm excited to see, oh my God, who really are the top 10 fighters, right, in the ecosystem, and that's going to create fandom, and that's going to create that additional cultism that we look for. But all those things come into a play. But just mentioning TD and mentioning the endowment and the college system, that's really the game plan and the blueprint.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to get you get the people that are interested. You get that, you build that cult following. I mean, SI hit the nail on the head. You've got to have the community. You've got to have the people that are excited about it. And Ben Force, you're exactly right. I love chains like Solana where they've got $5 billion already in liquidity. We've seen what's gone on with Dog with Hat. It's just like, all right, great. We know that there's an appetite for it. We know that it's sitting there. We've got to get more people involved with it. So that's been my behind the scenes kind of what I've been working on for the last 6 months here. And I've really wanted to bring it out to the community, but I want to hear your feedback. I want to know, is this something that you would get excited about? I want to hear it from the Bogside Chats boys. I want to hear it from Office Hours. I want to hear it from the Jewelers and, from the Mythic Squad and everybody else along the way, Sergeant Filthy McNasty. Because if it is, let's make it happen. It's not that difficult to do. What goes on with these coins. They come here, they're a community, they're a following. The people get behind it, they get excited, they make it into a reality, and next thing you know, I don't see why we couldn't have a multi-million-dollar coin on our hands that gave us the ability to not only introduce people to crypto but to DeFi kingdoms. And that's what I've really been excited about, is here making sure that we come together as a community, but we also too we thrive, right? It's like, okay, we've got the opportunity now. I mean, I look at all these coins out here and I'm just getting, I'm getting excited about like this next couple of months as we hit the election cycle where things could just go absolutely bananas. And if we could get more people to see, get more eyeballs on the project, get people in here to say like, oh, this is cool. I want to do this. This is a great community. Outside of like who we already know. We've got the handful of players that are out there. We're doing our thing. We're repping the project. We're making sure that everybody's excited about it. But let's get something else. Let's get something bigger, right? Let's make something that is like, okay, might get to $1 billion market cap. I mean, do you think that could happen? Do you think like in the next 6 months, if we all were like, hey, this is pretty cool, you think we can make $1 billion token?
I definitely think so. My last stream was bulls are gearing up. Why the next 6 months could be the beginning and end of this current cycle. So I'm right on the same kind of purview as you, and it is all about incentives, right? So at the end of the day, you got to have great incentives. But I think the community is super open, especially with some of these partnerships and drops that we've seen in the Void Hunt. So the community is super hungry to have more opportunities to accumulate more assets. And if it's based, built, and for the community, I mean, we're super open to it, right? That's why a lot of us are TD holders right now. They came in, they gave to us, and they showed what they're doing on the back end and the front end, and it's got us excited. So I'd be super open to that. I see Stay saying KP counter. This argument could have made $1 billion token. We would have by now. That's the strongest argument against your idea, in my opinion. What do you think about that?
That's a great argument. I mean, I think that, we did make $1 billion token. Jewel, You
There
know,
you
we
go.
made it in the middle of a bull run. We made it when things were going strong. We made it in the time. And when I say we, I'm not saying me personally. I'm saying, the group that was there did it. They absolutely did. They launched at the right time. They did the right thing. They had a great community behind it, and it did what it did. And now it's the same exact time. I think that we've got, between you and me, Trade Room, we've got 12 months to make this happen. By middle of next year, we could be looking at a completely different market, just like we were in the middle of 2021. We thought it was a decent time, but we were actually halfway through. I feel like there's a way to make things happen in such a way that it's a new shiny object. It's really cool. People want to get into it. I heard so many times today how people just disregard something that's been around for a while and they just look for that new shiny thing that's out there. There could be there could be just a little opportunity here, and it doesn't, like we know, right? Like with Cock and You, it doesn't have to have anything that has any utility behind it. It doesn't have to be promising anything. It's just a community. It's a community-driven thing, and that's the thing that I'm looking at right now is like, how do we get from here to there? So let's all figure it out as the community. I think we've got a great head start. We've got a game, we've got things behind it, we've got other things that we can do. But yeah, there is a ton of stuff. There's a lot of things that we could do as a community, I think, to take advantage of this in a way. And there's some that are getting worked on right now, I'm sure. But I just think that, what we've talked about, what we looked at here in the last couple of, minutes have shown me that, wow, there's a lot of there's a lot of opportunity. I watched these coins launch, I watched them go up, and I watched the things happen, and I'm like, wow, this is incredible. There's a ton of different communities out there, and there's a ton of different things going on, but we're sitting in our own little niche. And when you said Honk, I was like, yeah, Honk's been around for, how long has Honk been around for?
Hunt's been around for over a year. Definitely over a year now, yeah.
Yeah. So it's been taking taken advantage of it, and it did get to how much did you say, $1.22 at one point?
Yeah, about $1.20.
Yep. So it's actually had a little bit of run itself. Tune Fit, originally on Harmony, the chain that shall not be named. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to throw that out there. There's so many other opportunities. If you get a chance to, DeFi Llama is always my favorite tool to go and see what's going on. You've got your Solana chains out there that are, $5 billion, your Arbitrums that are $3 billion, your base chains that are, $1.7 billion. There's tons of different ways to actually go out there and see what's going on these different platforms. And I just think that Ben Force was right. You see something like Solana where it got up to $10 billion last cycle. Not that DFK could potentially have a realm there, but we could have a presence, right? We could have our own community coin, just like Dog with Fat.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, both layer ones, right? Is there opportunity for layer one partnerships, layer one liquidity, layer one transfer of user bases? I think there is. And if it takes the community going out there to make it happen, let's freaking do it.
Let's do it. All right. Speaking of community, it's time. It's time to give away a hero to one lucky person in the chat. I'll let Trade Room pick out a question of the day. Anything that you want to ask, particular that we can ask the chat here. Whichever one answers first that you see will get one of these crystals. I'll let the one who wins pick out which crystal number they want as well. So with that being said, Trade Room, have you thought of a good question for the audience?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And I've been on a hunt for this hero. I was able to summon my first one about 8 to 9 months ago, and I haven't had any success doing it since then. But guess what? I'm gonna keep trying. But my question is, what is the USD value of the floor of a floor mythic Dread Knight right now? What is
All
the
right, guys.
USD value of a floor mythic Dread Knight?
You heard it. First one to put in the floor USD value of a mythic Dread Knight gets the hero. And these are not any heroes. These are heroes that I've summoned together with 2 advanced traits. So you have the chance of getting an elite traded hero here. So let's do this. Large, good to see you in the chat, my man. Hope everything's going good up in NorCal. Got a chance to hang out with him up at the GDC conference a couple of months back. So hope that's all good. Anybody close yet? Beef says 1,000.
That's very close. I don't know if I'm ready to give him to it on that. If we get 2 or 3 more, that's sneakily around that range. I'll give it up. He's close though. He's close though.
Okay.
And I asked for a reason because we talk about these Gen Zeros, Gen Zeros, Gen Zeros. Gen Zeros are the biggest and best value in the ecosystem, but we're seeing some of the other heroes that may not have Gen Zero capability. Also, boom! I think Ben Forrest hit it right on the dot.
Nice.
$988. Nice.
Nice. All right, Ben Force, you got called out as tonight's winner. Oh man, TuneFed was right behind him as well. Chris Smith was jamming in there. Kevin Porter, Ben Force, I'll let you choose. Just put in a number between 1 and 4, starting from the top, making our way down, and I will go ahead and crack that hero open for you. We'll see what we get. It's always 969. I was expecting somebody to put in 9696. So.
Beav was so close on that first try,
Yeah, exactly. Only 12 bucks off. Beef, I just wanted to let you know that traits will definitely slap, my man, because they've got to. I know that you've got some of those incredible Dread Knights as well. Ben Force, which one did you want? Let's go with number 3. All right. We're going to go with lucky number 3 here.
Mythic vibes?
Mythic, mythic, mythic. Let's see what we get.
Let's go. This could be a doozy here. Smashing two advance together.
Let's see it. Thank you, SI. I knew somebody. I couldn't put it against you guys. I knew somebody was going to come up with the magic number.
Oh man.
All right, here we go. What did we get? Oh, It is a Legionnaire. So let's see what kind of Legionnaire we got. Oh, not too bad. A rare. Oh, and it's also got the Shapeshifter sub. So we did get a mutation on that. Let's check out what we got here. The mining guy. And we got the blue strength, which is nice. Let's see those chains. Oh, we got the 1 advanced days. Not too bad. And the antenna, of course, as well. Pretty nice little hero here, Gen 1. You got a chance for a couple more mutations, and you could probably get him up from that shapeshifter if you wanted to. Congrats on that guy. I will copy him and put him into the chat so that we've got him there, just so that we know. Ben Force, get in touch with me after the stream here, and we can connect. I'll send him over to you. Congrats on the Legionnaire. To everybody tonight, I just wanted to say it's been fun. I mean, it's been fun to have Trade Room on tonight. I've had a great time, chatting about what possibly could be. I just want to know that, this community is so cool. We have one of the best communities ever. It's great to get together with you guys and chat about everything that's happening, when it comes to meme coins, when it comes to layer 0 airdrops, when it comes to everything right now, especially when we've got big green candles like we've got today. There's going to be a ton more that's happening here in the next couple of weeks. I'm hoping to get some community involvement with this because I really want to launch this bad community coin that just is going to do nothing but hit billions and billions of dollars of market cap. And, it's something that I wanted to do. I just feel like this is the right time. I think crypto's the right space. I think that we've got a great community for it. I wanted to give you, Trade Room, the last chance to chat about anything that you wanted to bring up, and then I'll cut us off here into one of my favorite outtakes, which is Mythic Quest. If you guys haven't seen Mythic Quest yet, this is just the quick trailer at the end, but I think it's cool because it kind of encapsulates what goes on behind the scenes of DFK. Bolon can actually... he can basically tell you that, this is pretty close to what happens behind the scenes at DFK. So if you haven't seen Mythic Quest, you'll get an idea of what goes on. With that being said, Trade Room, any last parting remarks for our chat tonight?
Yeah, for sure. And first and foremost, I just want to give you your flowers. I mean, I've seen you come, into the space. You already had a pretty solid following. You came in, positive energy, very enthusiastic, all about the community. And that ascension has gone from whatever you're doing personally to now you're on the team, right? Representing us, speaking for us. communicating, with us, and that enthusiasm has never changed, and it's hard to maintain that. It's not easy, guys. It's not as easy as it looks. So definitely want to just thank you for continuing to grind for the team, for the community. You're a big representation of that. So just want to salute you on that. Salute to the community for showing up, whether East Coast or West Coast, for coming in and supporting us as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I really have fun with you guys. And Trade Room, this is the first time I've had you on one-on-one. We've been on Sarge's podcast together before, and it's great to get a chance to know everybody in the community. I'm always happy to have you guys on. So if there's ever a time you want to come on, chat about anything that you'd like to talk about, let's do it. I'm always here for it. It's always a fun time. Big bullish to everybody out there from Large Dags SI. Congratulations again to you, Ben Forrest. I'll get that out to you, and I'll leave you with Mythic Quest. This is a really funny show.
In a world of legendary heroes, one man will rise to take all of the credit.
This game has something that no one else will. Me.
We go to work.
This is where the magic happens.
Hey, can I get a coffee?
I'm coming on!
Everybody has that game that they fell in love with because they make an impact. Those games were somebody's legacy. Well, this is my legacy.
Our legacy.
Our legacy, whatever.
It's not my legacy.
I have a BA in Women's Studies.
What exactly is women's studies?
It follows the experiences of women and the contributions they've made to...
Inquiry withdrawn.
Quick thing, I'm worried about the time.
Yeah, David, I'm moving as fast as I can. It's not my fault that these watermelons don't explode like real heads.
I can get you real heads. Not human.
That's commitment.
I built your vision. It's like you're this brilliant painter, and I'm your favorite brush. I'm just some tool to create your masterpiece.
I like that metaphor, but it's not quite right, is it?
Are you seriously about to noodle on my metaphor right now?
I know that I can be difficult. Papa, you can't give up. We're like the Beatles. Together, we make masterpieces. I could write the lyrics and the music and everything, but it would sound completely different without the drums.
Wait, I'm Ringo?
Well, yeah. Of course you're Ringo. I mean, look, somebody's got to keep the beat.
Oh my God! At least you brought me breakfast.
Oh, this is mine. It's prescription.
A prescription bagel?
Legally, you're actually not allowed to ask me about it.
Whatever.